Lance. How are you?
Oh, there he is.
Whoa. Didn't know if I would make it.
Sneaky. That was sneaky.
Man,
Yeah,
beautiful.
so I
Hey.
throw that one in there.
a beautiful Sunday, guys, huh? How's everything going?
Awesome. Great day. Not as good a day as AA Ron, though. Heard
Oh,
hit on the
man.
course.
First round of the year, and it felt fabulous. It was great. Like sunny day.
Was it?
Very nice.
What felt great? Just the weather or the game?
The game felt good too. You know, normally first round of the year, you got to take 2 off the first.
Yeah.
Not this guy. No way. Boom.
Was it
One drive AA
on par with Fields Ranch East by chance? Did you happen to play there today?
Well, no, it was probably really close to Fields Ranch East. I was picturing what I think Fields.
Oh,
Ranch.
you have Fields Ranch West.
Well, we'll call it Fields Ranch North. How about that?
North. Oh, you play at Harbor Shore.
Way
That's
north.
awesome.
Way north.
So,
That was good. It was good.
All right.
And what did you shoot, Ron?
I shot a 46.
Mm.
I had
That's
one
not bad.
blow-up hole, and the rest were pretty okay. The greens were super slow, and so I'm used to other courses where the greens are faster, and I was shorting every putt. So
Yeah, Blossom Trails is a little rough on the greens for sure.
yes, yeah. So
I got out this week too.
yeah,
Got out
Well
at
done.
Harbor Shore.
nice. How was it?
And it was good. We played a scramble, so I'm not exactly sure what I would have shot on, but definitely worked off the rust on the front 9 and then pulled it together and pulled the team through on the back 9. So I was pretty happy. And
All right.
there might have been a little bit of swing juice on the back 9 that helped too,
Yeah,
as it always does.
yeah.
You know, as a side note, we should get over to the simulator. I know we hit it a couple times this winter, but see if we can go play Fields Ranch East and check that out.
If they don't have it programmed in, they need to get it programmed in.
Scope out hole 6, see what it's all about. Well, guys, let's get going here.
Let's do it.
Quick preview of today. We're gonna do a couple things. We're gonna do a little deep dive into the PGA's swanky new Frisco headquarters. Now, I think it was new in 2022, so we're still going to call it new. We're also going to talk a little bit about the Fields Ranch East course. I know we talked a little bit about hole 6 last time, but we're going to dig a little bit deeper this time.
We've kind of danced around the entire course and the PGA facility. We've danced around it a bit by talking about hole 6, but yeah, I'm excited to dig into what else the place has to offer.
I tell you, I did a little homework just in advance of this, knowing we were going to do it, and it's like Disneyland for golfers. I mean, I feel like we're going to go there, and we're like when we're not on the course marshaling. I mean, we're just
going to be hanging out there.
There's going to be so much to do. You know, you got that giant, what's it called? The dance floor, the big green that they have. That's massive.
Let's hit some facts here to start real quick. So
let's do it.
So the headquarters was in Palm Beach Gardens, Florida. Moved to Frisco, Texas. 660-acre campus. Moved in 2022. $520 million public and private partnership. So it's Omni, right? I think Omni Hotel and Resorts, the city of Frisco, a bunch of other folks involved in that. But it is very involved. It's got 2 18-hole courses, East and West, I think. And I think they're going to be hosting a bunch of majors there as well. What else you guys know? Johnny, have you been there before? I think you've told us before.
I think we hit this like every episode.
I know.
But I'm not going to talk about the course. I'm not going to talk about the course this time.
You've been there though. What was it? Let me ask you this: did you have a favorite? If you had to pick one favorite thing there, what was it?
No, there's no favorite. I mean, like there's what blew me away was just how it like never ended. So driving in and like I think towards the front end when you drive in, there's like the driving ranges and stuff, and they have like an equivalent of a Top Golf. I think they even have a bar called the Ice House or something like that's right there where you can hit out, and then they've got the dance floor, they got the PGA Experience, they got all the coaching facilities and fitness stuff, and it like never ends. and then you get to the actual like clubhouse, and then beyond the clubhouse, you start to get into some of the Omni property. I think it's they have like different like places you
Yeah.
can stay, and then that aren't the hotel yet, and then you get to the hotel resort, which I forget which hole it is. Maybe it's number 1 on the way out. We didn't start on number 1, so I was trying to piece it together. But the resort is gigantic, and they've got the infinity pool, like rooftop bar area. They've got the regular main pool, and it just goes on and on and on and on and on. So yeah, no, I don't know that there was like one particular favorite. I just remember being blown away.
I assume when we put on the Marshall uniform, we're instantly given full access to everything.
Full access,
right?
Everything.
I mean, the infinity pool. I feel like I'm just going to be soaking in that thing.
Oh,
after a
we
hard
do
day.
have to find our way. I after like looking at it closer. Yeah, we definitely need to find our way over to that Omni and get up to that infinity pool for sure.
500 rooms in the Omni, 13 restaurants, which isn't too bad, 4 pools, including rooftop infinity pool, and a spa, Aaron. If you need a little pampering post golf, you can check that out as well.
You know, I'm not above pampering. If somebody wants to pamper me, I will accept said pampering.
Yeah, I'm looking at a map right now. I think it is like number 1 to the first green, and then there's still a bit of the Omni property as you tee off on number 2, and that makes sense. I remember I ended up we teed off on like a par 3, number 4 or 5 or something. But
hey, what about that? There's a par 3 course. It's a 10-hole par 3 course.
Yeah.
There. Did you ever get to play that?
No.
We need to add that to the list. I hope it's going to be open for the spectators and of course the marshals.
What sounds awesome about it too is it is lighted, so you can play night golf out there. How awesome is that?
Yep.
Yeah,
we can bring
and
the lady like a little husband-wife scramble competition.
Ooh, well,
yeah, I don't know which Aaron, who said it. Who said like, yeah, we're just gonna like want to be hang out. Like, this is not just a show up to save lives on hole 6 and then get out of there. This is like gonna be so much fun to check out all the stuff that it has to offer. And
I feel like it's gonna be one of those things where somebody's gonna go on break, and we're gonna be like,
come back,
Johnny, where you at, Johnny?
Why'd you guys show up with 10 marshals for 6 stations? Well, because a couple guys might not make it back.
So they've got some other things on campus as well. I just don't want to forget about these. I know we talked about a 2-acre putting course called the Dance Floor, lighted 10-hole par 3 called the Swing. But it's all part of a PGA district. It sounds like they've got a bunch of shops and probably restaurants as well, bars, some other things tied into that, which sounds pretty cool.
Yeah, I obviously can't wait to check out the shops and see the swag and this, that, and the other. Plus, they'll probably have extra merch tents and stuff on site just because of the championship.
Yeah, I agree.
But yeah,
they have that coaching center too, which I wonder if again, marshaling, I feel like it gives us some special privileges. Maybe we'll be able to get some coaching along the way.
Pop in, get a little.
Yeah, we gotta talk to Brando. We gotta talk to Brando, and we gotta see, can we get in the PGA headquarters?
Yeah,
and the coaching facility, which I don't know if that's the same as like where all like the training facility and fitness and all that kind of stuff is, but I mean, I would love to showcase that kind of. Well, I'd love to go check it out, but man, let's tell the story and show it and showcase it.
Yeah,
for our millions of viewers.
Wait a minute. Everyone that watches this, I think, is going to be with us. So how does that work? Anyway,
I got to start somewhere.
Okay. So what else you got?
Yeah. So one more thing, just one more little nugget. I mean, the Frisco campus is set to host 26 championships by the year 2034. So, you want to talk about the future of golf. There is PGA Championship 2027 and 2034, Senior PGA 2029, and a bunch of others. So they've got a lot going on.
So the regular PGA Championship, women's, and the senior, all there.
Right.
It makes total sense. I mean, they built this amazing campus, and let's take advantage of it. Show it off and give people the full golf experience. I think it's cool.
We touched on this a little the other day. Well, last thing real quick, we can talk a little bit more about the course, but I mean, I'm going to be curious how this compares to, I mean, really our only, well, Johnny, you and I went up to Battle Creek
Yes.
for the Epson.
By the way, I got some email invites to do that again.
I did too. But I mean, it'll be interesting to compare Frisco to St. Joseph, Michigan, right? And I don't know. I think it's going to have a different vibe to it than the senior PGA for sure.
Well, I like Marshall Maddie's suggestion of wearing cowboy hats. Maybe that's something we can look into. I don't know.
Well, I think we get hats, right? So we probably have to stick to our hats, but it depends on maybe the type of hat you got. You may be able to make it. Well,
let's do this. Let's ask our connections at the PGA if we can get a preview of what the volunteer hat is, and if we get some cowboy hats that are in the same color scheme. And
there you
go with that. I mean, then beg for forgiveness after that.
Or we just roll up with cowboy hats, and then when we're marshalling, we swap the hats
just
out.
Tell them that's what we're doing.
Yeah.
Right?
Hey, what's cowboy hats or khaki shorts and cowboy boots?
No shirts. No shirts. All right.
Okay.
We're getting us distracted here. Let's talk Fields Ranch East a little bit. So designed by Gil Hance, opened in 2023 and 7,800 yards from the championship tees, which, I mean, that's typically where we play from. Wide fairways, cross bunkers, and some small, tricky greens. What else do you guys know? What else is it known for? Do you guys know?
There's a lot. I mean, it looked super interesting. I mean, they don't have, obviously all of the stats that they're going to be bringing in terms of the exact distances for any of the holes. But, looking at it, it looks like you're dealing with Texas winds, I mean, where you're going to have a lot of wind issues. Two, if I recall right, I was looking at a lot of the holes, the greens are pretty small, these are pretty small greens. And so when you're thinking about who's going to score well, it's going to be those that are really high on their greens and regulation. If you can really
who's shooting darts.
Yep. Who's shooting darts, especially on that second shot, and so I think it's really going to be interesting. Totally different than Harbor Shores, right? Which has, I mean, some greens that are absolutely massive, but multiple tiers and, lots of undulations. I think this is just going to be a little different challenge for the players.
Yep. I remember that. I remember that where like the small greens, like you said, the trade-off of not as much undulations, multiple tiers, but just trade it off for just a small target. So
Ron,
interesting.
You mentioned
I do love that it starts with a par 5. I think that's pretty awesome. I mean, you could start off a massive par 5, and you could see some. I mean, you could see some birdies. You could see a lot of different things when you start off with a par 5. So that'll be cool.
You got to go by the Omni, so don't be distracted by all the people hanging out at the pool.
Right.
I might say that par 5 is bold. It's a bold opener. You might.
It is a bold opener.
I wanted to come up with a phrase to capture that. But Ron, you mentioned the wind as well. Mm-hmm. I mean, that may impact us as well, right? As Marshall's out in the field, I think it might be a test of our skills.
Well,
perhaps.
I think it will be, especially knowing that hole 6 is the number 1 handicap on the course. I mean, it's not the number 1 handicap because it's easy. There's going to be balls probably going all over the place. So we got to be on our game.
Agree. Johnny, I have a question for you. I'm curious. There's different types of golfers out there, right? Some that can really drop bombs, and others that again might have that pinpoint. Do you have a pick? What type of golfer do you think is really going to clean up out there?
Well, I think we got to go with what we were talking about earlier. It's going to be who's the hitting the greens. I don't think distance off the tee is going to matter as much as the approach. It'll be interesting to see for sure, because you don't have to miss by much to get into trouble, whether it's rolling off the back of a green into a little creek or a bunker in the front. So the shot shapers are going to be, I think, the ones that are going to run away with it.
Yeah, looking at the current standings right now in the LPGA, Megan Kong is currently number 1 in the greens and regulations. She's at 82%, so she's really
Okay, remember that name.
Yep, pick to click.
My money's on her.
There's a couple of others on my list I'm gonna take note of, but I'll keep those to myself.
And we have an episode coming up where we have to dust off our knowledge of the LPGA players and make sure that we're honing in on who some of the favorites might be, right?
Agree. All right. Well, gents, I think we're at our time. A quick recap. PGA Frisco is a golf paradise, and Fields Ranch East is a beast of a course. Looking forward to marshaling it. Super excited about that as we get ready for that. Some big names coming, big stakes in Texas. So make sure you tune in to all of our podcasts coming up. A quick note, we do have maybe a surprise guest coming up in the next week or two. So be on the lookout.
That's right.
For that.
That's right.
We'll say thanks to our listeners. Make sure you guys check us out on Instagram and TikTok, and we'll see you next week.
All right. The road to Frisco.
Road to Frisco.
Keep it going. Can't wait. See you guys.
Bye.